Hola mis amores, ¿cómo están? Estamos conectados aquí en el Facebook Live 12:30 de la tarde desde la ciudad de Miami en Ask the Expert o Pregúntale al Experto, y hoy estoy súper emocionada. Voy a estar hablando de nutrición, de dietas, de muchas de esas cosas que ustedes me preguntan siempre. La única cosita es que la doctora habla inglés solamente, pero estamos aquí. Voy a estar siguiendo sus preguntas por aquí en español, las traduzco en inglés. Ya le expliqué a la doctora y pregunten lo que quieran, estamos aquí para eso. Gracias por conectarte aquí a este Facebook Live. Estás aquí en Chicanol, si le has hecho like, a share en este momento y conéctate aquí conmigo. Hello everybody, I'm Laura Termini and this is our Facebook Live Ask the Expert. And today I have the pleasure to be with Shia L. Rarbach, nutritionist and registered dietitian for the University of Miami Health System and author of the UMiamiHealth Chew on This. Yay! Okay. Welcome, doctor. This is your first Facebook Live.
My very first. I'm excited.
I'm very honored. I'm very honored. So my audience is here. I have almost 500,000 people here. On the Facebook Live. They're not watching right now, but they will be.
Good.
And I'm very happy to be with you here because when it comes, when we want to talk about nutrition, there's a lot of things that we can talk about. I was trying to prepare this show, and I was like, what should I ask? Even me, I read about nutrition every day. I do research to be able to write on my blog things that I like and things that I want to share with them. And I try not to be, when it comes to nutrition, I try to be precise about the content that I share with them. And that's why you are here. So I'm very happy. So when it comes to nutrition, there are a number of different diets becoming now movements and confusing many of us, of course, on what we should believe. What is the best for us and what is most effective? But let's start from the beginning. What do you do when you have a new patient here, seated here, and they say to you, I have a problem, I want to learn, I want to change my diet? What's your approach?
Great question. First thing I do, and this is something why you come see a registered dietitian, is I take at least a half hour of a history. Who are you? What's your life like? What do you like to eat? What are the foods you grew up with? Because so many times people will read something and go, oh, to be healthy, I have to eat salmon 3 times. This would be my husband. 3 times a week, and I hate salmon. So, you know, those general recommendations don't work for so many people. So I find out who they are. And that leads into your second question of what is the best diet? There is no one best diet for everyone in the world because it depends on what they like to eat, how much they know how to cook, you know, where they're working, who they're living with, all their influences. So that's the beauty of it. There's a core element that makes healthy, nutritious eating. And if you have that, you could follow any of these diets as long as you have this core base.
It's about science too, doctor, because I've been writing about nutrition for like 9 years on my blog. I'm an actress, producer, and I moved from Venezuela, I was telling you before, Venezuela to Miami, and I started eating everything that I thought it was nutritious for me. Right, when you change your diet, when you change from one country to another, it's a totally different system, right? For everything, right? Your emotions, everything that you go through. And you go to the supermarket. I'm writing a play now that I'm opening in 2 weeks. And I wrote something about the supermarket. The first time that we Latinos go to a supermarket here in the States, we're like, oh my God, this is heaven. We're like, oh, like grabbing everything, like 10 types of bread. Everything that you experience that for the first time, and then you lose your mind, and then you're lost, and then you gain weight, and you don't know what to do with it until your body and your mind adapts. So when it comes to nutrition, I think science is very important because I've been having problems with myself, and I think like, what do you think about doing like the right thing, like blood tests to see what your allergies are, food allergies, because it's very difficult just to wonder what's going on with me.
Okay, there's 2 parts to your question, or your comment. There's so much going on. I love nutrition, and I could talk about this for 4 hours, but we only have 20 more minutes. So first, you have to go back to basics.
Okay.
Back to basics. And the science, nutrition science, we call it, it's evolving. And so many people will say, oh, you guys are always changing your mind. You know, fat is good, fat is bad. This is good, that is bad now. But one thing we never, ever have changed our mind about is the importance of vegetables in the diet, the importance of plant-based foods. Vegetables, number 1, fruits, number 2, whole grains. We have never changed our mind. So making that the core of what you're eating, you can never go wrong. Eating plant-based food is the core. That's number 1. Next, I forgot what was the second part.
Yeah, we were talking. I'm paying attention. Like I'm like this. I love you, doctor. Can I stay here with you?
Yes, please. There's a little bed over there.
This is Chicano Facebook Live with Dr. Shia, and we're talking about nutrition. I was telling her about my experience changing the diet.
Oh, I got it. Right.
Okay.
Right. So I see so many people from South America, Central America, and they come to this country and they do gain weight. And a lot of it is because they've left their typical way of eating and they've gotten into, just as you described, a lot more processed foods.
Exactly.
And when you're eating a lot more of these highly processed foods, you're also eating a lot more sugar. You're eating more whole grains. You're getting away from those natural fibers and root vegetables and the way you were eating before. And it's like your body is like, what just happened to me? You know, where's the fiber? Where's all the vitamins and minerals I was getting? I'm getting this highly processed foods now. And that's what happens to so many people when they come to the States.
And you said the magic word, sugar.
Sugar.
We are a society that is addicted to sugar. And you have something that you want to show.
I do.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
It's a shocker. Because most people don't even know how much sugar they're eating. Because when you're drinking a soda, all the sugar is dissolved. If you're eating salad dressing has sugar, ketchup has sugar, you just don't realize. So this, number 1, is, and I don't know if any of your people are drinking soft drinks, but
I don't think so. Well, you know,
okay, this is a big one. A lot of people say, well, I'm drinking tea or I'm drinking green tea because that's so much healthier. And if you buy a bottle of pre-sweetened tea or green tea, this is the amount of sugar in there.
Wow, there must be like how many spoons?
This would be about 9 teaspoons of sugar.
Oh, wow.
And would anyone out there ever take a glass of tea at home and add 9 teaspoons of sugar? Never. I've never met anyone. Yet if you buy the bottled stuff, this is what you're getting. So a lot of people, very popular energy drinks.
Oh, yes.
Energy drink has 11 teaspoons of sugar in it.
Well, and the sugar, I think, is the least dangerous thing on energy drinks.
Well, every energy drink is a little different. Some might just have caffeine, some have a substance called guarana, you know, they all have different substances in there. But the one thing we can talk about, if it tastes sweet, this is what you're getting in an energy drink. So sugar is a biggie. And the health recommendation for added sugar, this isn't the natural sugar in fruit, this is added sugar. The recommendation is 10 teaspoons, which is 40 grams a day. That's,
oh, wow.
No, I'm sorry, 10 grams a day. That's 2.5 teaspoons. So all of these are these are the sugar in drinks and
oh, wow,
treats and everything. You're just busting your sugar recommendations with anything that's pre-sweetened.
Let me say hello to all my friends here. Hola Marta, hola María. Es en español porque hoy la doctora ella no sabe inglés, español, perdón. Y nosotros somos una comunidad bilingüe. No se preocupen que más tarde, mañana, voy a tener el video con las partes más importantes de lo que estamos hablando acá. Por eso no estoy interrumpiendo tanto a la doctora para hacerles los subtítulos en español. Siempre pueden hacer sus preguntas en español y yo las traduzco acá. No hay problema. I love that because I think visuals are so important to understand what we really, really eat.
Yes, because you read the ingredient label and it says sugar or wheat or, you know, all the different additives, but you have to see it to believe it. And when you think about it, again, no one puts 14 teaspoons of sugar in a drink. No one. But it's in there and it's mixed up and you're drinking and you're not paying attention and you are just being dosed with so much sugar. And let me say 2 problems with sugar. Well, there's so many problems, but 2 problems. One is called empty calories, meaning your body is using up some vitamins and minerals to metabolize that food with the sugar, but you're not getting anything back in. The second is sugar is pro-inflammatory. It means it's sort of inflaming the body, which is something we never want. A third thing is, we're learning so much about the gut, the microbiome, and it influences.
Yeah, like probiotics.
With the whole
probiotics are big now.
Well, you know what? The gut hates sugar. Sugar does not nourish the gut. What nourishes the gut is good fibers that are in onions and garlic and artichoke and asparagus. You mentioned probiotics, fermented foods like sauerkraut, pickles. But sugar, gut hates sugar. So you're doing so many negative things when you, and I'm not saying never eat sugar, but you don't want to be in one drink having this much sugar.
It looks like drugs.
And some people say it is a drug.
Yes, that's why I said it. I always travel to Europe and I love how they eat there. They only eat what's on season. And I think in Miami we have that problem because we don't have here seasons. Basically, it's always hot. And we have everything available there. And I think that's a problem that we have right now. This time of the year, you can eat what's on season in January. It doesn't matter. So yeah. I think people get confused. Another question that I have here that somebody sent me. Do we count calories?
Yeah. You can. In fact, there's a lot of good apps that help people if they want to count calories. I like MyFitnessPal is one and Lose It is another. So if you want to count calories, if that's helpful to someone, then do it. But what I often recommend to people who are confused and they want something easy, I'll show them this picture. And instead of counting the calories in the meal, my recommendation is fill up half your plate with vegetables, half the plate. Then you make a quarter of the plate protein. It could be fish, it could be chicken, it could be meat, it could be something tofu or tempeh or some vegetarian. And then whatever room is left, that little quarter of the plate that's left, then you could have some brown rice, some quinoa, half a sweet, baked sweet potato. But if counting calories, if that works for you, then do it. If that feels like, oh, I just can't do one more thing, then how you put your food on a plate. Number one, half the plate veggies. Number two, put down the protein. And then whatever room is left, put down the whole grains. And this is so easy because this plate, looking at this plate, I would tell you that this might be at the most about 350 calories.
350 calories.
So you can never go wrong if you're just doing half a plate veggies. And it's easy. This is just full of good nutrition. It's good for you. It's good for a spouse. It's good for the kids. It's good for everybody in the house.
Perfect. You have some props there that I want you to show to my audience.
Props? Okay.
Yes. Before that. Mis amigas que están viendo esto en español, no pongan caritas malas, no pongan esas caritas malas. Después lo pongo en español. La doctora solamente habla inglés. Yo vivo en Estados Unidos. La mayoría de los doctores de este país no hablan español. Pues fueron educados, son americanos, fueron educados aquí en el sistema, pero no se preocupen, todo lo demás que tengo de UMiamiHealth he tratado de hacerlo también con doctores bilingües y de todas maneras más tarde yo voy a editar este video bien lindo para ustedes y les voy a poner también subtítulos. Ustedes me pueden preguntar también aquí en español y yo le pregunto a la doctora sin ningún problema, así que no se preocupen si no entienden algo. La doctora, estábamos hablando del azúcar y ahora vamos a hablar también de la grasa y me va a enseñar qué es lo que tiene en la mano. Pueden hacer sus comentarios aquí en español y yo los traduzco. Facebook ha estado un poco lento, pero espero que me estén escuchando y me digan de dónde se están conectando. Me encantaría saber si hay locales de aquí de Miami, si van ustedes aquí a UMiamiHealth y cuál es su experiencia por acá. Ok.
This is fun. Okay.
Is that soap?
This is 1 pound of fat. This is 1 pound of muscle.
Let me.
Okay, here's my assistant.
Oh my God. Okay.
So, if you look at this, number one, the muscle is much smaller, is that right, than the fat?
Compact.
It's tight, it's compact, it's dense. So when people start losing weight, so they're eating less and they're exercising, a complaint I hear all the time is, oh, they're exercising and they're eating less, and they'll say, my weight's not changing, I weigh the same amount. And I'll say, how are your clothes fitting? Oh yeah, funny, they're getting bigger. And this is what's happening. Number one, this cannot become that. Fat doesn't turn into muscle, and muscle doesn't turn into fat. As you're exercising and eating less or making better food choices, your body fat is decreasing. And then from the exercising, your muscles, which we all want more and toned and tight, your muscles are getting stronger and more toned. So the weight might stay the same, but you get smaller. Muscle, these are both 1 pound, correct?
Right.
It's smaller. So don't always, the scale can be a useful tool, but you can't live and die by the scale. You know what I'm saying? How your clothes fit, your energy level, your feeling of vitality, that's more important. So just don't get discouraged when you're on a program and the scale isn't giving you exactly what you want. If your body's getting smaller, if your clothes are getting bigger, isn't that what we really want? With strength, right?
I learned that when I started working out every day, because they took my measurements and they took the body fat. And then I needed to study that and to really understand that, especially us women that were very traumatized about, especially Latinas, doctor. Oh my God, we are something else. We're always talking about which diet should we start, you know, which fitness trainer should we hire, who should we follow on social media. And I want to talk to you about social media, something that I didn't prepare, but I just, you know, thought about it.
So this is the last look. Smaller
and bigger.
And bigger.
Social media. I love social media, and I build my brand on social media. But I think sometimes, like, having on the Instagram 24/7 people that you can follow, doing diets, doing all kind of exercises that are not for you, sometimes it's not that good, because you compare yourself with these people that are perfect, with toned bodies, but that's their job. Most of the people that they're on Instagram, they do train to have that body. You know, a housewife with 3 kids, even me, I don't have kids, but you know, I have a full-time job.
Right.
Like, I cannot train for 3 hours at the gym. So how do we balance, you know, nutrition and exercise?
When I'm working with patients, what I always tell them is make a goal for yourself. So make simple goals and get achievement. You're not going to look like first of all, you're not going to look like the person on Instagram, and I'm not even sure they look like the person. They themselves look like that person on Instagram. There's something called Photoshop.
Exactly.
I have a husband who's a photographer. I've learned about Photoshop. So it's got to be your personal goals. You want to build for success, and it's just so hard to ignore all that outside influence. But if you're exercising and all of a sudden you're feeling stronger, you know, maybe you're lifting weight and now you can lift an extra 5 pounds, and that's the sense of accomplishment that you have to feel. Or you've never eaten a vegetable and now you're eating 3 servings a day and getting all those risk-reducing phytonutrients. Set personal goals that you can achieve just for you. Don't compare to anyone else. You know, if you could keep that stuff in perspective, then look at it. But if it's going to make you feel bad about yourself or inadequate, then what's the purpose? You know, just turn it off and find someone to follow who is supportive, enriching, nourishing. Like Laura here, yes. That's the people you want to follow, not the people, look at me, look how incredible I am, look at how much I'm doing. You want, be choosy. Find the real people and be choosy about who you're following, because time's limited.
And talking about real, doctor, there's a huge movement on social media about body shaming. You know that. But on the other hand, sometimes I feel bad about what I think, you know, in my mind, because I don't like when they push me to be very thin and very size number 2 or 0, but I don't like the body movement that said it's okay to be extra large and extra big, and you have to accept yourself. Because I see and I know people who are very large, very big. I don't even know how to describe that because I don't even know what the right words
to
say it, not to be, you know, a bad person to say it. But I'm like, is that okay? Super big. What I learned at school is like, if you're super big and you're eating sugar, you know, you can show people on your Instagram that you're happy and you're accepting yourself. But you know, later on in life, you're going to be sick, period. What do you think about that?
Okay, well, as you said, I'm 100% with you. Totally against making anyone feel bad about anything related to weight.
Exactly.
And in fact, I even do lectures every week to medical students, and that's one of my topics is fat shaming. Because people who are very overweight, they don't get the same medical care the people who are a more appropriate weight get. That said, the way people at that weight size feel is it's no one's business but my own, what I weigh. Now, if they go to a doctor and they're having an interaction and they're discussing their health, that's one thing. But acceptance and not feeling guilty is the first step to eating healthier. You know, when you're filled with shame or guilt, you know, that's you're making the midnight trip to the pint of ice cream, the half gallon of ice cream in the freezer. If you're feeling good about yourself, you're more likely to exercise. You're more likely to make better food choices. So I think that's I think at the core of that body acceptance movement. Again, and I work with people who are about to have bariatric surgery, the gastric sleeve. So I talk to people in depth who are very overweight and they're suffering. A lot of them are suffering. But when they're coming to me, even when someone comes to me and wants to, because of the bariatric surgery, I still say to them, what do you want to work on with me? I don't impose my beliefs on anyone. And keeping that open mind, people are more likely to make changes and talk about things.
That's what I say to my readers. I always post about nutrition, what I've done, my experience. I always talk and publish. I have some doctors who write for my blog, but it's like, it's your life. It's your life, and I can give you, you know, some tips about what to do, but at the end of the day, it's what you want to do with your life and with your body. And I think we need to be sensitive, and we need to feel what the other peoples are feeling, and have this word that I love, that I don't remember now in Spanish or English. Oh God, I forgot the word. Feel what the other empathy for others. I think it's about that. Okay, doctor, let's wrap it up. So what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Like something that you really would like to share with the audience.
Well, people think I'm crazy how much I talk about vegetables, but I mean it. In vegetables, it's not just vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C. It are these phytonutrients, polyphenols, all these substances that will, your best bet at reducing risk of disease. You know, if someone could give you a pill and said, this is going to reduce your risk of cancer, you take that pill in a second. And I'm telling you, a plate of vegetables is the pill. A plate of vegetables is the pill. So the more you can increase vegetables, plant-based foods, it's not rocket science. Eat more produce, fruit, vegetables. It's the best we have. And also nourishing this gut. Just remember, the gut's not happy with the sugar, but they love the fibers. So eating more vegetables, eating those onions and garlic, and which my experience, so many of my patients from Central and South America, they're number one with garlics and onions and adding to food, so that makes your gut love you. And remember, food is there to nourish us, and it's there for fun. It's a good time. It's a way to be social. I became a nutritionist because I love to eat, and I love food, and I love sharing that message with people. So think of food as nourishing, fun, social, and you'll be okay.
Paleo diet. Paleo diet is big now. What do you think about grains? Before we go, I want to ask about that.
Grains are a plant food. Remember, they grow and they have those same, for some reason, people don't think they have the phytonutrients and the other positive things. They do. I think what's gotten distorted is all these highly processed grains in this country. Like you said, you come here, there's 100 kinds of bread, but none of them are real, you know, whole grain. So grains definitely fit. And it's just the proportions, but go for whole wheat bread. The first ingredient on the label has to say whole wheat. Think about, drifting away from white rice and maybe brown rice, quinoa, millet, barley. Get into those other grains, and they are nutrient packed.
3 things that somebody that wants to lose weight can do, like small changes.
You're gonna think I'm crazy, but it's eat vegetables again.
1, 2.
Number 2, be careful what you're drinking. Drink water. Sparkling water. Sparkling water, maybe with a squeeze of fruit. You could be drinking so many useless calories. Your café con leche in the morning, how much sugar is in there?
Oh my God, a cafecito cubano.
Cafecito?
Oh wow, that's like 10 pounds of sugar there.
So watch what you're drinking. And it really important. This could be a whole nother Facebook Live.
Yes,
You want to
we
come
can do
back.
that. I want to come back always.
It's paying attention to what you're eating. It's called mindful eating. So many people eat and eat and eat, and they don't even know how much they've eaten because they're watching TV, they're on their phone.
Doctor, we are always in a hurry. That's a problem in this country. We don't take the time to sit with our parents and siblings to eat because everybody's working always.
Take 20 minutes, turn off the electronics, no phone, no TV, no computer, and pay attention to what you're eating and talk to the people you're eating with. But mindfulness is really important, and that's a great tip because when your mind left, always sit down. I'll tell you what I tell patients, turn off the electronics, only eat sitting down. Yes. Sit down. Don't stand up. I'm looking in the I'm looking on the counter, I'm looking in the fridge.
Or driving.
Well, never driving. Sit down and pay attention to what you're eating.
Thank you so much, Gia.
It's been fun.
Thank you so much, Doctor. This was Facebook Live, Ask the Expert. This is UMiamiHealth. I'm very happy that we spent this time with the doctor. She took a time of her very, very busy schedule to be with me here and with you guys. So send me your questions tonight. When you watch this video, please share it with all your friends. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
It was so much fun. Come back and see me.